Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So I'm back today with another video as promised. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to apply for your PGWP, all of the step-to-step tutorial that you need to know on how to apply. So the first thing you need to do is to go to the IRCC website. So basically just click on IRCC. You can just do that on Google. And then the first thing that comes up is what you click on, as you see here. So on this page, what you want to do is to go down, just scroll down, and then you click on study. Now, don't click on work, you click on study because, I mean, you were a student before, you're still on study permit. So you click on study, and then it takes you to different parts. So you scroll down as well. You can read through all of this just to see what they say, but just to make things faster, I'm going to just go through what I did. So when you come to this area, you see where it says to stay and work in Canada after you graduate. So this is where you want to click on. If you're doing study permit extension, this is what you click on as you see here, but this is what we want to click on for PGWP. So it says stay and work in Canada after you graduate. So you click on that. And then it begins to tell you about PGWP, the rules. There are new rules for PGWP. If you want to read up on that, you can click on this. It's going to take you and just show you some of those information. And then, of course, if you want to read further about PGWP, who can apply, and the documents. Now, I already have a video on this on my channel. My last video would address most of the things that are already here. But if you want to get more information, you can just click on each of them. But just because I already did that before, I'm going to just quickly go to how to apply. So again, read through all of this. Like I said previously in my video, you have up to 180 days to apply for your PGWP after you graduate. If you want to go to the application, just basically scroll down, you know, and then you see where it says to create an account or to sign in. You click on that. Now you would want to sign into your account. So basically, like I said in my previous videos, when you want to apply for anything immigration, there are two ways to sign in. There's a GC key, username and password, and there's a Canadian Interact sign-in partner. It's very easy to go through the Canadian signing partner. For me, I just do that. It's very easy. So I click on that. And then whatever bank you're using in Canada is what you use to sign in. Just makes things kind of easier. So I'll basically go through this very quickly. I'll sign in and then I'll come back. So once you've signed in, if you have submitted previous applications, you will see them here where it says view the applications you submitted. And then you also see where it says continue application you submitted. So if you started an application before and you didn't complete it, this is where you would see it, right? Let's pretend we're doing a new application. That's for people that are starting afresh. You want to click on this, apply to come to Canada. And then it's going to ask you a bunch of questions like personal reference code for PGWP. Mostly, you probably not have that. So you click on this. This first option it says visitors visa, study, or work permit. This is what you want to click on for PGWP. So I'll go through this very quickly. So the first question says, what would you like to do in Canada? So you want to choose work here. Don't choose study. So right now you want to work in Canada. How long are you planning to stay in Canada? You're planning to stay more than 6 months. You click on that. So the code that matches your passport, so that your international passport. So for me, it's Nigeria. So just choose Nigeria. And then what is your country of residence? If it's Canada, you choose Canada. If it's not, you choose the country where you're currently staying. And then, do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident? For me to know. And then your date of birth. So I'm going to just randomly select a date. This is not my date of birth, by the way. Well, the month and the days, but not the year. Okay. So then you click on next. Now, are you a lawful permanent resident of US? Nope. For me, if it's a yes for you, you choose that. Now, what is your current immigration status in Canada? So they're asking for your current, so that's going to be student, right? Don't choose worker because you are currently still a student. Do you plan to work on campus? For me, I selected no when I was applying for mine. If you choose yes, it's going to ask you a bunch of questions that you probably are not able to answer. So for me, I think no, choosing no here is the best option. And then it's going to ask you other questions. So, are you a full time student at a participating post secondary institution and want to work off campus up to 20 hours per week? So, because you are not currently a full time student, so it's a no. Now, this is the one where you click on yes. Yes, right? So, have you recently graduated from a participating Canadian institution for which your program was a full time and a minimum of 8 months. So, like I said in my last video, you must have been a full time student and your program must have been 8 months and above. So, yes. And then it's asking if work is an essential part of your studies. So, for example, some people did core programs or internships. So, for them, this they'll click on yes, but for me, it's a no. The next question is saying, have you been told by IRCC that you are approved for PR, blah, blah, blah? For me to know. And then have you submitted a permanent resident application in Canada? I haven't done that before. So if you have submitted before, maybe some people might have done that in the past, then you want to select yes here. And then do you have a written job offer? So like I said in my last video, some people might have gotten a job offer. If you have a job, then you click on yes. If you don't, you click on no. So you click on next. So it's asking, do you have an official letter from your school that confirms you finished your program as well as a copy of your final transcript? Definitely, yes. So this is why I said my last video is important because you must have gotten the letter and the transcripts before you start the application, right? But even if you started the application right now and you don't have it, you can, save this and then go and get those letter and then upload them when you have them, right? So, but you must click on yes for sure. Now, what is your marital status? For me, never married, single. For you, if it's married, you click on that. And then, what is your province, territory of destination? That's the province that you're currently in. Is asking about that. So, for me, it's Manitoba. So now you can see, based on the information you've provided, there are two results that it's showing you: temporary resident visa and then postgraduate work permit in Canada. So of course, this is what we want to do, right? We want to apply for PGWP. So click on continue, and then going to ask you a bunch more questions. Now again, it's asking you, do you have a letter from your school that confirmed that you finished your program and also your transcript as well? So we're going to click on yes. Have you had a medical exam performed by IRCC authorized panel physician within the last 12 months? It's a no. So this question is not asking you if you've been to the doctor. It's asking you if IRCC has asked you to go for a medical exam in the last 12 months. For me to know, in your case, if it's a yes, you click on yes. But for the most part, I think it's a no. To be a no for most people. It says find out if you're eligible to apply. So some people would require a medical exam before for the application, and those are people in healthcare. All of these listed positions or jobs here. So people that are doing this kind of jobs, they'll probably need a medical exam. For me, I'm not one of them, so I click on no. If you are, then you click on yes, and then you probably need to provide a medical exam. So again, it's asking you if you want to work in this job. So if you're going to work in healthcare, if you're going to work as a, clinical laboratory worker, health science worker, as a teacher, caring for like children or the elderly or the disabled, or in any healthcare field, you would need to provide a medical exam. For me, I don't intend on working in any of these fields currently, so I'll just click on no. And then it says, do you want to submit an application for a family member? I'm going to click on no. Now, are you going to give someone access to your application? If you're going to do that, then you click on yes, but for me, it's a no. Now, in the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints and photo biometrics for applications to come to Canada? Yes. So, for most people that are applying for PGWP, they will click on yes because, it's either you've been here less than 10 years. So that means your fingerprint and biometrics will be valid. So, you don't need to do another one. So, you click on yes. Now, there are fees, with this application. So, yes, I'll be paying my application fee. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents with a scanner or camera? Yes. Will you be paying the fees online using a MasterCard and all of that? Yes. But please read through all of this very carefully. I'm just going through them very quickly. So, yes, so this is the review of your answer. So, you want to go through them very carefully as well. Make sure you're reading through to make sure that everything is correct. There are no mistakes. But I'm going to just go continue. And then it's going to give you all of this. So step 1 to 4 of what to do. So in this place, this is very important because you cannot submit a file that is larger than 4 MB, and they only accept PDF, JPEG, TIFF, a PNG, and Microsoft Word document. So basically, just read through all of this on how to, shrink the image if you have more than the size. You can merge files together. You can compress files. So we click on continue. And then it's going to take you to the document checklist. So this is where you're going to upload your documents. Again, read through all of this. It's just basically showing you the versions of the forms that you need to fill out. Make sure that you're filling out the correct form. So the first thing you see here is the application form that you need to submit. The form you need to submit for this is called IMM 5710, as you see here. So for this one, what you need to do is just basically click on this, and then it takes you to the parts where you can download. So when you click on this, you can see it's already downloading on your computer. Now I'm going to click on the form right now, and then we're going to fill out the form together. So this is the form, the IMM 510E. So let's very quickly fill out this form together. So first of all, the UCI number is going to be on your study permit, right? When you check your study permit, there's a part where you see UCI number there. So you're going to get your UCI number from the study permit. Now, it says, I want service in English. Now, I'm applying for one or more of the following. Now, read through all of this. I'm going to click on apply for a work permit for the first time or with a new employer. So, this is what you want to click on. And then you're going to fill out your name. For me, I'm going to just quickly fill out my name. Of course, you want to take time to fill out, all of this. I'm going to just go through it very quickly. So, have you had any other name, in the past for me to know? And then your sex, female, date of birth. Again, this is not my real date of birth, anyways, but just to show you. And then your place of birth. I'm just writing just for an example, right? So, country or territory is going to be where you're from, right? So, Nigeria. So, citizenship, of course, is going to be where you're from as well. So, you click on that. For me, Nigeria. Now, the country or territory of residence, you already have Canada there, and then your status is going to be student. So you still click on student. Like I said, you're still a student currently. And then for this part, you want to write the date when you started to be a student. For me, it was 2019 of September 30th. So for this, you want to choose the part, like the date where your study permit ends. So you have from is when you started to be a student, like when your status started as a student, and then to the end is where your study permit ends. So if your study permit is going to end in, like for example, mine is going to end in December of this year. So I put that there, right? Because if you write when you graduated, like if you write a date when you graduated, the form is going to tell you that. So for example, I defended in December, right? I'm going to put December here, so it's telling me that it's not correct. There's something wrong because you still need to have a valid status. You cannot put an expired study permit. So you're going to put the date that your study permit is going to expire. And like I said, it must be greater than today's date, right? It mustn't have expired. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is very important for those that are filling out this form. Take note of that, right? Previous countries or territory during the past 5 years, have you lived in any other country other than the country of residence or the one that you are from? So I'm going to click on no. If you have lived in other countries, for more than 6 months, like I said here, then you click on yes and you have to list out the countries. Now, your current marital status. For me, it's single, and then if yours is married, you of course click on that and then you write your name of the, spouse and all of that. Have you previously been married or in a common law relationship? Nope. And then, go ahead. Native tongue, for me, it's English. Are you able to communicate in English or French? I'm going to just choose English. Have you taken a test from a designated testing agency to assess your proficiency in English or French? Yes. Now, again, like I said, remember the new rule is that PGWP, you need to have written an English proficiency test or French in the case of people that want to do French, right? So, in this case, you must have written it before you start this application because if you click on no, then you are not eligible, right? Or that you'll be denied. So you must have taken a test, which you will submit anyway. So you click on yes. So passport number, I'm going to just randomly click on a number that's just random. This is a random number, by the way. And then country of issue, again, it's going to be your country, right? So I'm going to click on Nigeria. Issue date, random date again. I'm going to just choose random date here. Again, like I said, you should have at least 3 years worth of time on your passport before you start to do this application. Because if you have less than 2 years or less than 3 years, it might be a problem, right? Because they would not give you more than that time. All right. So for this trip, okay, this is already so you don't need to fill this, I guess. So let's go to the next one. Do you have a national identity document? Yes. Yes. For me, it's also my passport again. So I'm going to just fill out the same thing I filled out here. So are you a lawful PR, US citizen, blah, blah, blah? No, right? So I'm going to just randomly choose. Again, this is not my apartment number. It's asking, is it the same as your residential address? Then just click on yes. So when you fill that out, then it's asking for your, number. I'm going to just fill out a random number again, like I said. All right. So email address. This is not my email address. Just to be safe, I'm not giving out all my informations, right? All right. So now coming into Canada, right? The date and place of your original entry to Canada. So this is very important. You have to remember the day you came to Canada. So for me, it was August 30th or so, 2019, I think. So the place is going to be the place where you arrived in Canada. You know, the port of entry where you were given the study permit, where they ask you for a bunch of things and they ask you questions and stuff like that. If you need to go and look for like the name of the airport where you arrived, or you need to go and look at your flight information, go and do that, because that's what I did. I had to go and look for it. For me, it was Montreal. That's where I dropped off. I think it's the airport is Y something, YZ, I think. I'm not sure. This is just a random number. So, the airports have a code, right? So, the airport code would be what you write there. So, you write like the province you arrived in and then the name of the airport you actually were, checked out. So, that's what you want to write out. So, you have to go and look for it and make sure it's correct because they will probably check, right? So, the original purpose for your coming to Canada is study. That's why we came in the first place, right? Now, date of place of your most recent entry. So if you have traveled before, maybe you traveled to your country and then you came back again, you also be checked out again at the port of entry. Maybe you haven't traveled at all, then of course it's going to be the same as this, right? So, but in case you've traveled, then it's going to change. I imagine I traveled last year and came back. So I'm going to just choose October. This is a random number, anyways. I'm going to just choose Toronto. Again, please check. Each airport have their own name, like I said. So you want to check and make sure that the airport name is where you arrived because again, they have the record of those things. Now, document number is the number of your study permit, right? So I'm going to just quickly go to Google and show you what it looks like. So study permits. Now, when you go to images, let's look at it together. So it's going to be this number. Document number is going to be this number. So let me see. I'll get a good one to see. This is an example of a study permit, right? Let me go. Let's make it bigger. Okay. So this is an example of study permit. So the document number is going to be here. Now it always starts with F something. This is very important because there are many numbers on your study permit. You might choose something that's wrong. So like I said, this is the UCI number. I said UCI number at the beginning. It's going to be here. When you check your study permit, you see this UCI number. This is what you copy the number here and put on that part where it says UCI at the beginning, right? But for this part, you want to copy the number on your study permit, the F3 something something like that. So right. Of course, yours will not be this number, of course, but it will start with F. Go back to this place. So I'm going to just randomly choose a number here, right? So again, make sure you check your study permits and put in the correct number. Now for the UCI, like I said, this is where you want to put the UCI number where you have that part on your study permit. I'm going to randomly put a number here, right? So please check this time to make sure you're correct. Okay, so let's continue. So we're here. What type of work permit are you applying for? You're applying for the post graduation work permit. You're going to choose that, right? Now, if you have an employment letter, where it asks you if you had a letter of employment, you want to choose all of this. You name your employer here, you name the address of your company or your office, and all of that. Have you been issued a certificate under the PNP? It's a no. For me, it's a no, right? So all of this would be where you want to write out if you have an offer of employment already. Now let's go to education. So just to make things faster, I'm going to just, I'm filling all of this out so that you would also fill out for yourself as well. I don't want to miss out or skip anyone so that, you won't have any questions. Now for the employment, I'm going to just fill out something random here. And you want to fill out as much as you have. You probably have more than one. Now let's go. Within the past 2 years, have you or a family member ever had tuberculosis of the lung or been in contact with someone with tuberculosis? No, thankfully. Now, do you have any physical or mental disorder that requires social or health services other than medication during your stay in Canada? No. Have you ever remained beyond the validity of your status? Like I said, you shouldn't have. This should be a no for everybody, hopefully. Now, have you ever been denied or refused a permit? Canada? No. Have you previously applied to enter or remain in Canada? In this part, you click on yes because you must have done like a study permit extension before. So You can just write study permit extension, right? And then you write the date. Maybe, for example, September 2019 or 2023, you know. Then if you've applied for temporary residence extension before, temporary visa extension, some people did that as well, right? So this is section you want to write that for the C part. Probably write 2C just to show that you're trying to explain this. So in this section, that's what you want to do, right? So number three, have you ever committed, been arrested, or been charged with a felony? No. Did you serve in any military, militia, or civil defense unit? Blah blah blah. No. Are you or have you ever been a member of any political party? No. Have you ever witnessed or participated in ill treatment of prisoners? No. So these things are very important. If yours is yes in any case, you want to click on that because they do background check for those things, right? So you don't want anything that would appear that you're lying, right? So once you're done, right, then you come to the signature. Do you consent to be contacted by IRCC? Blah blah blah. Of course, you want to click on yes, and then your signature you want to sign. So your signature can just be your name, right? And then you write the dates that you've filled out the form. So that'll be today's date. Now, this is very important. After you're done and you think you filled out everything, you need to click on validate. You get it? So it's going to tell you where you must have made a mistake. Now it's showing me an error in one part. So I'm going to go there and see what the problem is. So, okay, I missed out on this. So, I'm going to click on that and then, fill out everywhere that is going to show you. So we missed out on some parts. So this is why it's good to validate the thing, right? You can also validate it from here as well. Let's validate again. So again, I've missed out on something. Have you had any post-secondary education, including yes? All right. So I didn't click on that before. Okay. Now let's validate again. Okay. So now you can see it's validated successfully. So once it's successful, you'd see all of these things here, like barcode thing is going to show up here once you've successfully filled out all of the information. However, you need to also check to make sure it's correct. Because you see that I filled out many wrong information like on purpose, right? Because I was just trying out some things, right? But the form doesn't know that. The only thing the form can do is to make sure that, for example, if you fill out a wrong date, maybe the date is weird, it's going to tell you that it's weird or you excluded something, it's going to show you that, right? But the form cannot tell you that, oh, you're supposed to click on yes or no here. If you click on no instead of yes, it won't tell you that, right? So you need to be very sure of what you're filling out, right? So once you're done, you save it, click on Control S, that's save because it doesn't save by itself. And then your form is ready, right? Now let's go back to the document section. So now that you filled out that form, right, you would want to click on upload file, right? I'm going to just randomly upload that file just to show you. So once you're done, you just click on upload. Remember the file must only be 4 MB. You can't upload a file that is more than 4 MB. Now that we've uploaded the first one, that's the first form we've uploaded, right? So let's continue. By now, you should have all of this document. For the transcript, it's going to be your official transcript. And of course, your transcript will have all of this, right? The classes you attended, when you took the classes, your marks, and then, all of that, all of that. So this is where you want to put that. And again, make sure it's not more than 4 MB. Again, like you remember I said, you must have gotten a letter from your school to show that you've completed your studies. This is where you want to attach that letter as well. And then your international passport, of course, you want to submit that as well. The biodata page where it shows all of this is where you want to submit that. Just basically click on upload for all of this and then upload the file. So in this section, if you want, you can attach your study permit as well. You can just merge your study permits to it as well. It's not really necessary because they have your file with them. And of course, your digital photograph, again, like I said, so this is what you want to look at, right? For workers, students, and visitors. So the file size must approximately be this, and it should be more than 4 MB. And then the image must be in color. The size must be this. At least this. You can go to Shoppers and just do this. Once you're done, then you upload it. So for those that might have gotten an offer of employment, right? I feel like there will be a section here where you need to attach your letter of employment. But I'm not sure because I didn't have a job when I was applying for mine, right? Now, for those that are staying outside of Canada, so maybe somebody might have gone home, you need to click on this one and download this file. Now, this is the file you want to click on. So basically, it's for application for temporary residence visa made outside of Canada. This section is for additional information, right? For example, your letter of explanation. If you had proof of any authorized leave, for example, medical leave, maternity leave, whatever it might be, this is where you want to attach it. And of course, your English tests, CELP or IELTS, whatever it is that you've written. This is where you want to attach it because it always comes in a file format, right? So you want to attach that proof here as well. So in this case, you probably need to merge some files together. So anything that you think you need to attach, like I said, any additional information that you think is important for your application that I've not mentioned, please attach that here. Just combine everything together into like one file. It shouldn't be more than 4 MB. Then you upload that, here. Now, once you're done, then you can go into the fees, right? Now, because we already have biometrics on the system, we don't need to pay like fee for biometrics again, right? So we just need to pay for this. So you have the fee for work permit and the open work permit holder fee. So the total fee is $255. That's what you're going to pay. So I can't go further more than this because I haven't uploaded all my documents. I can't do that again, right? Because I already done that before. For you, once you've uploaded all the documents that you need to upload, then there will be a button here that says next or continue or something like that, right? So and then you go to the next page where you need to pay, and then your application is submitted, and then that's it. So that's basically it, actually. So then once you're done, it's going to show submitted. So one thing to notice that when you submit your application, right, it's going to send you like confirmation and everything. A day after you submit your application, typically you will get a response from IRCC. So basically, they will send you a letter. This letter contains a temporary date that they will give you. So it's like a temporary work permit, basically, because you can use that letter for an employment. You can give that to your employer, and then that's valid. All right, so that's all for this video. This video is very, very detailed, and I know it's going to help one or two people. But if you have any questions, please let me know. Leave your comments in the comment section. Please like this video, subscribe, and share to as many that might need this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.